Hi guys. In this video we are going to be doing some enumeration. So we are going to be doing some user groups and computers enumeration, and also some more cool stuff that you can do. So as you can see, let's go ahead and display the session. So the session that we have over here is session 2. So I want to go ahead and interact with session 2 by doing the sessions I and specifying the session. Over here, if you do a get UID, you can see that I am the NT authority system. Okay, so that's really awesome. And from here, if you want to just drop to a shell, you can just go ahead and specify shell, and that will take you back to a shell instead of Meterpreter. And from here, you can do a who am I all, and that will display all of that. And from here, you can do some local enumeration and all of that stuff that we have done before. So that's why I'm not going to do that. So and then you can just also you can just do a host name. You can see the host name, IP config, and all that good stuff. But we don't want to do it from here. We want to learn how to do it from from Meterpreter. We already learned how to do it from just the CMD and from PowerShell. So we don't really want to do this. So therefore, let's go ahead and just exit out of here, and that will take you back to Meterpreter, which is kind of really cool. So from here, what you want to do is you want to be running some modules that Meterpreter has, and one of those modules is the gather the enum AD users to see if we can get AD users. Now this one has not worked for me. So the way that you do that, the way that you run the modules is the run, and then you just gotta specify where the module is located. I don't want to list all the 295 possibilities. So I'm gonna do run. I'm gonna do the post Windows gather, and then it's going to be in the enum underscore AD underscore users. So if we run that, users is with an S. So you can see right here, I get an operation fail. So for some reason, it does not work. So another one that we can do is just by doing the AD groups, right? And this one would display all the groups that the system has. And this is from, as you can see, this is from the pentesting.local domain, so it is coming from the domain. I don't know why the user is not working. There's something that doesn't work. And another way that you can run these modules, this the same modules that I can run from Meterpreter. I can just run in from Metasploit, and the way they do that is by doing a background. Just to keep that in the background, let's go ahead and clear this out. And after we do that, we can just do like use. We can start with post Windows gather, and the one that we want to do is the enum logged on users, right? And this one is a module. So from this module, if we do options to see what the options that you need to fill out, all you need to do is just go ahead and change the session, right? And that will run in the session that we have it. And if we do sessions, you can see that session number 2 is the one that needs to be over here. So if we do set session to 2, and then if you run this module, it is basically the same way like I was running it. You can see that there's a session with the student 1, and also the administrator has a session. You can see the SUID for student 1. Let's go ahead and copy that because we are going to do something cool in a little bit. So that's how you run that. And another one that you could use, another module, is like the instead of the get logon user is the get AD user comments. I'm not sure if this one is actually going to work. So user underscore comments, right? And then you go to options, and from over here we have the domain name that we need to specify and the fields that you want to get. So if we do, let's set session to 2, and then set the domain to pentesting.local. Let's see if we get anything from here. Run it. So as you can see over here, we do get some really good information. So something that we have gathered already, so you can just go ahead and copy that and just paste it on your cherry tree. I know that we gathered that before, but it is really nice that we were able to get that from here. So this one, the comments do use. So this one only passes comments or descriptions that are filled out. The descriptions that are not filled out, you won't get anything, which is really nice to have. Because like I said before, a lot of company still do leave this out there. They do put passwords in the description. So these are really cool. There's a hanging fruit, right? You can potentially just break into a system with domain admin access, because I believe that this Jenkins admin is part of the domain admin, and we can verify by running. Let's go ahead and run. We are going to be running another module, which is the enum domain users. It's domain, not domain users, domain group users. All right, and if we go to options, and from the options over here, you can set the group to whatever you want. I have it as domain admin. The session, you want to change the session to set session to 2, and let's go ahead and run that. So what this is going to do is going to give me all the members of the domain admins, and you can see right here that indeed the Jenkins admin is part of the domain admin. Right, so if we use these credentials, if that is actually the credentials for Jenkins admin, we are probably going to be able to, to get a shell with that, and just dump all the hashes and do all that cool stuff that we're going to be doing later on. Another thing that you want to do, or that you could run, is the enum domain. If you go to options, see where you need to fill out. You need to do the session, so you do set session to 2, and you can run that real quick. You can see over here, and it also tells you which one is a domain controller, which is really good to know. And it was completed, and the domain is a pen testing domain. I thought this one was going to give me the SID for the domain, but it's cool. Another one that is really good to know is the enum computers. So if we do the set session, I forgot the T, set session to number 2, and go ahead and run it. This one is going to run the module against the file share, because that's where we have this Meterpreter session. And this one, look, you can see it did not work, so we were not able to find anything. But on a later video, we are going to find more, or we're going to find another way to do computer enumeration. Another one that you could do is the I think it's called, let's see if I remember, it's not enum, it's resolve SID. And if you go to options again, you can see the SID that we want to look up, and I have one over here. And let's set the session to 2, set the SID to this one over here, and let's see if it's able to resolve it. Run it. You can see in this one is for the student that one. That one we got when we did some of the enumeration, we were able to get the student one over here, and that's the one that I copied, and we just ran it over here. So if you find some SID and you want to know who it belongs to, there's a really easy way to do that. Now, another one, doing more enumeration. This is what it's all about. It is all about enumeration, guys. The more enumeration that you do, the easier it's going to be for you to break into something. So local admin search enum, another one. So this one is going to search for local admin access. So if you do options to see what you need to configure, you can see that this one you don't need. It's not required for the domain, not required the domain controller, not required the group. Enum users, so it's going to enumerate the logo and users, the R host, so you need to specify the R host. So let's set our host and see if this one works. 192.168.1.55, and set the session to session number 2. And let's go ahead and run it. And this one didn't really running a system module should be run as a user level right. So we need to, for this one, we need to run it as a user level right. So on a later video, we can go ahead and run that when we have a Meterpreter session with a user, and now with the empty system. Okay, and the last one that I'm going to do is for the service principal names enumeration. So if we go over here, enumeration, enum underscore and AD, it's going to be service principal names. And service principal names, the SPN is whenever an account has a set SPN, which basically would allow us to get the hashes for that account, and we can take those hashes and we can take it offline, and we can basically do it's basically a ticket that it gives you, and you can convert that ticket to get the hash, and then you can do hashcat. You can run hashcat on it to see if we can get the clear text password on it. So let's go ahead and do options. So for this one, you don't need the domain, it's not required. So max search 500. Let's set this session to 2, and let's go ahead and run this bad boy. So as you can see right here, it didn't really find anything. Let's say if we can set the domain, see if that works or that helps. Set the domain to pentesting.local. Let's go ahead and run it. And still, so this one we were not able to retrieve that. On another video later on, I think there's another way that I'm going to be able to get that as well. So this is it for this video, guys. This is just the first part of doing enumeration. We just went over users, groups, and computers, and some other enumeration. Thank you guys for watching.